up? Welcome to Hollywire's Power Players, where we count down the top 5 celebrities dominating this week's headlines. I'm your host, Gabby Conti.
And I'm Jake Horvitz. Let's get to the list.
At number 5, it is Harry Styles. Harry's romance has continued to heat up with Olivia Wilde, as what initially seemed like a fling is seemingly beginning to get serious. Now today, juicy details of what is going down in Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde's romantic vacation have just emerged. An eyewitness who saw Harry and Olivia on their vacation is saying, quote, they visited Porto Acrol and Argentario, where they rented a yacht and cruised the sea. They swam, they laid out on the deck, making out and holding each other close. They drank local wine and seemed very much in love. They were always very affectionate, kissing, hugging, and holding each other at all times. The eyewitness went on to add, quote, they danced on the deck and Harry watched Olivia dive into the water and went in for a swim. He helped her out by a hand and pulled her in close for another kiss and hug. They looked like they were having an amazing vacation and only had eyes for each other. They couldn't get enough of being together and showing off their love, end quote. Harry and Olivia have been linked since they were spotted holding hands at Harry's manager's wedding in January, where reportedly, Harry was introducing Olivia as his girlfriend back then, but obviously as we report this, neither Harry nor Olivia have officially confirmed their relationship. But I don't know about you, Jake, those yacht photos, like...
That confirms it to me.
Come on.
I don't know what else it takes to be in a serious relationship with someone, but... spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a yacht in Italy.
Renting a yacht.
Renting a yacht.
That is expensive.
Was it just them two on
It
there?
was just them two, although I did see a guy in the background. I'm like, is that the guy who was the eyewitness who gave a play-by-play on everything they were doing? Who is this guy? But are they still on the yacht? That's my other question. Because these photos keep emerging. I'm like, where is this yacht going? Are they coming back to America? What is going on here?
Well, if it was me, I would never leave that yacht. That's for sure. If I was that third guy who managed to
guy. We don't know yet. I'm sure. I bet you there's a whole. It looked like a pretty big boat. So my guess is there's a whole staff. Maybe it's a crossover episode of Below the Deck, right? They're also on there from Bravo's show. I don't think so, but there definitely is a staff on. If I learned anything from that show, if you go on a yacht, there's someone who's making the food, getting the local wine. You don't think Harry and Olivia packed a picnic for this yacht, do you?
No. So you're saying it was the chef.
I think there's a chef.
There's at least a chef.
There's at least a chef. There's obviously someone steering the boat.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it's not Harry and Olivia.
Look, my fiance goes sailing, and that is a different. You are putting in work when you're sailing, and I have to help out, and I don't even know what I'm doing, and that's not great. That's what I imagine sailing with him would be like. Is what Olivia and Harry is doing. That is not the reality.
That's what we hope. That's what we dream. And I can tell you, I personally dream of either one, either being on a yacht alone with Olivia Wilde or being alone with Harry Styles. Either
I thought you were going to say, or coming with my fiance and I on our
That's third on the
sailing.
list is your fiance, Gabby. Just me and him on a yacht with our chef.
No, I guarantee you, this boat looked big enough that there is a full staff on this boat, and one of those staff members, I almost guarantee, is the anonymous source that basically gave everyone a play-by-play of what they were doing.
And then there's also, don't forget, the guy in the distance taking the photos.
Oh, yeah. Was it a drone, you think? Or there was someone with a great lens that really just got in there?
It's tough to tell these days. Technology has really come so far.
The headlines of these photos, too, are funny because they range from they're heating up. Oh, my God, they're making out. Everyone's going crazy. And then my other favorite headlines are okay, we get it. Harry and Olivia were kissing. But what about her bikini? We love that. Where can we get that?
Well, yeah, she looks great. And they're a cute couple in spite of their age difference.
She's also reading a book in a lot of these photos. What book is this? Sadly, it's not my book. But
they're both highly literate, as we know, and Olivia is really transitioning into being a real artist as a film director.
Oh, gosh. So I guess we have to go to number 4.
Let's move on. Number 4. At number 4, we have Selena Gomez. We may be just over a month away from the release of Selena's new Hulu series, Only Murders in the Building, which she will co-star in alongside comedy legends Steve Martin and Martin Short. But Selena remains in the headlines this week for a variety of her other endeavors. And no, we don't mean her cooking show. Rather, Selena dropped her bikini collaboration with swimwear brand La Mariette, and the brand page was more than eager to drop a dozen or so rockin' photos of Selena in her new bikinis, all of which she designed herself. Not only does Selena look amazing here, but the photos are clearly unedited, something that is so refreshing to see and which the singer has been widely praised for.
Well, the interesting thing is the photos on the swimsuit brands are unedited, but the photo that Selena posted on her own Instagram feed to promote the swimsuit line was edited.
How? What did she do? She touched
There was
it
like
up?
a filter, like it was like very much, it looked like it was professionally touched up, while the photos on the account are more like we don't see Selena's curves or her natural beauty. The same thing that Camila Cabello was recently praised for when she was seen wearing a bikini. They're like, we love her, we love that she's just herself, we love that these aren't edited.
Yeah.
So.
Well, completely untouched photos, it's a lot to ask in this day and age when you have that many followers. You just don't see it too much. But what I can say is if you take the moment to click over to La Mariette and look through all of their photos, I mean, you'll see a lot. You'll see a lot of different swimsuits. You'll see a lot of Selena's body, and she looks great.
She looks great. Wait, Jake, how did you know she designed that? Did you find that out?
Yeah, it says it said
I
that.
didn't know that.
I read
That's
the captions
interesting.
on the Instagram, and that was what was revealed.
What can Selena Gomez not do? She can act, she can sing, she learned how to cook, she has her own makeup line, she designs swimsuits. Am I forgetting anything?
She can fly as well.
She can fly like Peter Pan
can fly.
style? or
And
like
I think
She's
invisibility.
invisible. She has all these superpowers. I mean, she's incredible. I think
She keeps that on the down low.
I do wish, though, that more celebrities would share unedited photos of them. I wish that became like the new normal. I think we're living in such a heavily filtered world. Looking at you, Kardashians, who not only are they like altering their bodies through plastic surgery, but then they also are applying like filter over filter where they don't even look like the same person anymore. So I think that's why fans get so excited when they see an untouched photo that's on a public platform of a celebrity, because they're like, yeah, your body looks like my body.
And I think that Selena especially, she just comes across as a very authentic person almost all the time, and that's not in the same way necessarily that we think of some of the other Disney stars as being super authentic, because those people, they're more authentic in a somewhat psychotic way, I would say.
Oh, okay, throwing shade at the Disney stars. Who are we talking about specifically?
The Bella Thornes of the world.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Bella Thorne's in her own category.
Yeah. But even Miley,
Miley, yeah, but I think Miley's like, insanity is kind of, it makes sense. Like, it's coming from a place of like, as an artist, right? It's not.
Well, I always feel like Miley is like seeking out just what type of artist she wants to be. Does she want to be like this punk rock star? Does she want to do more acting? Does she want to keep doing these interesting covers that she releases all the time? But Selena, like you're saying, does it all, and she's open about her mental health and her struggles with fame. In a way that I think is kind of very relatable for a lot of people.
I agree. I think that's great. And I think we're seeing that trend with celebrities. I think more and more celebrities should do that, because I feel like everyone does, to some capacity, has a struggle or knows someone who's struggling with their mental health.
Demi Lovato is another one
Demi
that
Lovato,
we talk
yes.
about all the time. They've all seem to be they all deal with this type of thing in their own way.
They do.
But Selena's my favorite.
It's also interesting, these Selena photos were, I think, so great to see, because I don't know if you remember, but like only 6 years ago in 2015, Selena was slammed for wearing a bikini with her underboob because the paparazzi was saying, oh, it doesn't fit, she gained weight, like all that stuff, which I can't, that was only 6 years ago that we were living in that toxic of a culture, and now we're kind of getting over that.
The world has become less hateful.
The world has become less hateful. And coming in at number 3, we have Tayler Holder. Tayler Holder is still claiming victory for his widely disputed fight with YouTuber Anson Gibb from the TikTokers versus YouTubers fight from a few weeks ago, but fans have already moved on because recent photos of Tayler hanging out with ex-girlfriend Charly Jordan have surfaced, feeding speculation that the two are in fact back together. Besides Tayler being seen with Charly in Las Vegas while Charly performed a DJ set, something we could attest to she is very good at. We saw her here in the studio. She is an incredible DJ, super, super talented. There even are rumors that Charly went to Texas with Tayler to spend time with him and his family, as they were recently seen kissing in a Dallas airport. Neither Tayler nor Charly have officially confirmed the rumors, but Tayler did like a fan post shipping the two influencers, only adding fuel to the fire. But now it seems more likely that the two are back together, as Tayler took to TikTok to post a duet with Charly, captioned simply, #duet with @CharlyJordan. Charly then commented on the TikTok with a smirk emoji. Top comments on this TikTok are, quote, I think I missed a chapter, and bro, I am so confused, and also, quote, what was all that drama for nothing? I am really confused. The last comment is referring to the very public fight that initially led to their breakup. Charly and Tayler shocked fans back in March when they announced in a YouTube video why they broke up. At the time, the split seemed to be civil and mutual, until a few weeks later when Taylor's reality show House of Creators premiered and the two had an Instagram he said, she said story war, but that seemed to be behind them as for now, as they are back to at the very least posting TikTok duets, which I don't know, to me that feels like TikTok official. What do you think, Jake?
It's highly debatable. A duet is a very specific type of interaction. It's not the same as doing a co-star TikTok. You know, a duet is engaging the person from a distance.
Right, because sometimes people use duets to like shoot their shot with someone. Like, if you remember that basketball player that was doing that with Addison Rae a couple of months, or I guess almost a year ago.
Lots of
that
people
guy?
do that with me.
Yeah, well, you're as a TikTok star. Like, does that happen to you a lot? You get a lot of people shooting their shots,
thousands.
duets.
Me and Tayler Holder were basically the same.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so I guess so it does seem kind of like the duet is like shooting your shot, but they also have already been seen together. I also think maybe Charly and Tayler are currently not together at this moment when he posted the duet, because it looks like she's like on vacation somewhere.
Yeah.
She travels a lot.
Who knows why they aren't in the same room?
I don't know, but to me, it's kind of like I saw it as, oh, okay, maybe she's traveling and he's doing, and because she had posted that duet. I think she's with Olivia and some other friends, and like they just posted a bikini shot, all the girls together, like looking like they're living their best life. So I think she's doing a girls thing, and I feel like she had posted that TikTok on her own, and Tayler duetted it almost in a way to be like, I miss you.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say that exact thing. He missed her, and I think, was sort of how we talked about on Tea Party the other day. I think that Charly is a very independent person. She's focused on her DJing. She travels a lot. And, you know, maybe they're sort of testing the waters with this. And she wants to see how, you know, Tayler can deal with the distance.
Yeah.
And maybe he's not dealing with it well. And maybe that's the source of this duet.
Maybe that's it. Well, you know, that is the thing, too, because I believe the distance was what broke them up in the first place, was that Charly was always traveling and Tayler was here based in LA. So when fans saw Tayler in Vegas with Charly, they thought that was a great step in the right direction, because it looked like he was kind of meeting her halfway with the travel thing. Because, yeah, when you are in a long-distance relationship, you face many, many obstacles. And also when you are getting back with someone that you used to date, there's even more obstacles. So I think if they're going to make this work, they have to make sure they're on the same page and that they don't have the same problems they had the first time around.
Or, you know, maybe they're looking at this relationship in a different way. Maybe they're not trying to make it super uber serious. You know, maybe that they feel like that was the mistake the first time around. And maybe it will be more of a casual, when we're around each other, we see each other type of thing.
Or do you think it's for clout?
It's always for clout, Gabby, because clout is the fundamental principle.
This
of
hosting
the
is for, we're doing clout right now. No. Okay, so number 2, we should move on to Miss Nessa Barrett.
Nessa Barrett. So, Nessa Barrett recently spilled tea on her release track, Counting Crimes, describing its lyrics as stemming from a toxic relationship, which fans are assuming must be referring to her ex, Josh Richards. Nessa recently released a new song and music video called Counting Crimes, which she has been relentlessly promoting, particularly as it has not been met with the same popularity as Nessa's previous single, Lottie Die, which she recorded with boyfriend Jaden Hossler. While the response to the track has not been completely lackluster, there's no doubt Nessa wants to up its profile and streaming total, so she's been making the rounds on various podcasts and being sure to spill the tea on the background for the track. Most notably, she described the song as originating from a very toxic relationship, in which she said both people made mistakes, but the other person did worse. Ooh. Seeing as things are going well with Nessa and current boyfriend Jaden Hossler, the implication is that she must be talking about former boyfriend Josh Richards, who she dated on and off for about a year before getting involved with Jaden. Jaden, of course, happened to be Josh's best friend, but according to Nessa, this could never compare to what her ex, quote, did. What this alleged thing is, we still do not know.
Ooh, or maybe she's talking about Chase Hudson. Remember her and Little Huddy, like they kissed? And that was the day that TikTok exploded. A year ago, happy anniversary, Chase Hudson, for blowing up the internet a little over a year ago.
It's amazing. I must have completely blacked that out, Gabby.
Oh God, that was nuts. It was basically like everyone was like unfollowing each other, and there was all this drama, and people were like, what's going on? And so Chase Hudson basically, or Little Huddy, posted this like big epic tweet that basically was like, here's why everyone's mad, and then he like would list all these things, and he had predicted it. He's like, yeah, Josh and Jaden cheat on Mads and Nessa all the time.
Oh my God.
Nessa, I made out with Nessa, like that was on it while she was with Josh, like she cheated on Josh with me, and Charlie's mad at me because he had kissed Nessa while he was trying to get back with Charli D'Amelio.
Wow.
There was more.
We need more of these tweets. Lil Huddy.
I know, Lil Huddy like spilled
Where
the
are
tea.
you?
Like he didn't spill the tea. He like dumped the tea kettle. Like
Yeah.
it was like he like broke it. It's like over.
That would feed us for like 2 weeks, Gabby.
It did.
One
But
of
you know
those
how much
tweets.
like you know how easy my job was after that came out? I was like set with stories. I could like break down all of these. But like
Yeah.
But now it's interesting that Nessa like coming out and saying this. I don't know, because like we don't really know the full details. We don't know Josh's side. Josh has remained really tight-lipped about the situation. out of all of them, Mads has told us everything. Nessa and Jaden are cryptically speaking to fans through their music lyrics.
And their tattoos.
And their tattoos.
Don't forget that.
And then Josh has just kind of been like, yeah, I want to talk about this offline. But like, I don't know, because he's not saying anything, does that make him the bad guy? Does he have something to hide? Or do you think he just like doesn't care anymore?
I think he doesn't care. I mean, to Josh's credit, he keeps his nose clean for the most part. He focuses on his show with Dave Portnoy. He does BFFs. He does his business endeavors. He lives his life. I feel like he's mostly in Miami most of the time.
They were in Miami. They were there for a long stint because they were going to be there for the fight. And now I believe Josh is back in LA.
Oh, wow. So that could shake things up.
I think Dave Portnoy was like in the Hamptons, or maybe they're in the Hamptons. So I know Dave Portnoy was at that big party that everyone got so mad at Charly D'Amelio for being at because she was twerking. So.
And I was mad because I wasn't invited to that
party.
I was
mad I wasn't invited. Beyonce was there. I mean, the Queen Bee herself was there. We weren't there.
Usually we get invited to anything Beyonce is
We definitely do. We're definitely on that. We're part of the hive. So that's just great for us. We love that.
But yeah, I think Nessa is, she's promoting her song. I really believe that. I think that, things were not great with her and Josh. I think that Josh was who he is and not necessarily who she wanted him to be. And, maybe she's still upset about it, but she seems like she's moved on. So it's interesting for her to bring this up.
I think so, too. And she also just showed fans that she's rehearsing to go on tour, which is exciting for Nessa Barrett fans. And finally, we have your number one power player of the week. It is Miss Addison Rae. Addison, as usual, has kept herself busy this week in a whole bunch of different ways. First, there was the shocking news that Addison had finally been surpassed as the number 2 most followed person on TikTok by up-and-coming comedy genius Khaby Lame. Understandably, the news has not come easy for big Addison fans, many of whom have been holding out hope, not only that Addison would stay at number 2, but maybe, just maybe, she would find herself in the number 1 spot, surpassing the queen of TikTok herself, Charly D'Amelio. While that dream is just about dead and Charly is having to keep her eyes peeled for Khaby herself, Addison also was hit with another blow when a TikTok glitch momentarily reset her and all user follower count to 0. Addison took to her other accounts to post a screenshot captioning a joke about having to get a real job. Soon the glitch was fixed and Addison's place as the number 3 TikToker is restored, bringing peace to the world. Well, not really, since Khaby is still ahead of her and some fans are still wanting to see her try out more mundane career now that she has floated this idea. But besides all this, the hottest goss about Addison comes from her former ex, Bryce Hall, with speculation that Bryce has begun a new relationship with Riley Habaka. Fans are wondering just where this leaves Addison emotionally. Addison has avoided much comment about the situation or about her own romantic life for that matter, but she did take to Twitter to cryptically tweet the Olivia Rodrigo lyric, "I bet you get deja vu." This, of course, seems to be a subtweet as people are wondering whether Addison is over Bryce.
Wow. What a week.
What a week, Addison Rae. Oh, and then did you see this other thing? Addison also posted on her Instagram story a picture of her Converse that we know she has the matching black and white Converse with Kourtney Kardashian and a picture of a men's Converse. And people are like, ooh, who is that? It's obviously the Kid Laroi, though, because he's always wearing Converse. I don't think it's Jack Harlow or someone else.
Or she just did it on purpose to make Bryce think
jealous.
that there's a man.
I mean, these
Converse.
were big feet. Just saying.
Feet in, they're not just the shoes.
The shoes were very large, or Addison has very small feet. Not to.
But I'm just saying, they're not empty shoes.
No, there was someone standing and her feet were like in between. But we know that her and Kid Laroi are very close.
Or, her bodyguard.
Her bodyguard. She makes all of her team has to wear those black and white Converse so they could also be besties like her.
Well, you don't end up as Addison Rae's bodyguard if you don't have great style.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Converse is a great bodyguard shoe. The support, the traction. I'm a little worried. I think that they should be in a more like grippy, faster they could run shoe.
Hey, real professionals can rock anything on the job.
That's very true.
That's something you learn in Hollywood.
Well, so I don't know. So you think Addison is jealous about like Bryce and Riley?
I think that it's not necessarily like pure jealousy, but there's always going to be a little bit of tinge of hurt feelings about this relationship. And it hasn't been, it's been a decent amount of time, but it's still going to linger potentially for another year at least.
You never forget your first love.
No, never.
You never forget them. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching Hollywire's Power Players. Definitely stay tuned. We'll have some more for you later.
Absolutely.
I'm Gabby Conti.
And I'm Jake Horowitz. Stay tuned to Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.